Hello students, in this session of the chapter that is reproduction in lower and higher plants, we are going to discuss regarding 3 marks question given in the HSC board question bank. Now we will see the first 3 mark question. Describe internal structure of anther, and here diagram is not expected. Here I have given the diagram for your understanding. Now the mark distribution is that these 3 wall layers will carry half mark each. Then tapetum carries 1 mark, that is for structure and its function 1 mark is given. And then for pollen mother cell, its nature or function half mark is given. So in this way the distribution of 3 marks is given. Now the anther wall. This anther wall shows development from parietal cell. So this parietal cell undergoes division to form anther wall layers, and the anther wall layers are divided into 4. The outermost layer is called as epidermis. So here we can see the outermost layer is epidermis. Then this epidermis is made up of flattened cells. Then the second layer inner to epidermis is endothecium. So here we can see inner to epidermis is endothecium, and this endothecium is made up of radially elongated cells with fibrous thickenings. Then comes the middle layers. Now inner to the endothecium, middle layers are present and they are 1 to 2 in number. And these middle layer cells are thin walled and which may degenerate or disintegrate in mature anther. Then the next layer is tapetum. So here we can see the tapetum. So tapetum is the innermost layer of wall of anther, and it encloses a tissue inside it. It is called as sporogenous tissue. So here we can see the pollen sac, or it is called as microsporangium, and inside this pollen sac or microsporangium sporogenous tissue is present. Then cells of sporogenous tissue develop into a diploid microspore mother cell, and each diploid microspore mother cell will undergo meiosis and it will produce 4 haploid microspores or pollen grains. So in this answer you will have to give these points so that you will get 3 marks. Then the second question is explain the development of male gametophyte in angiosperm. Now in this question diagram is not expected. So you will have to write the development of male gametophyte in 2 stages, that is before pollination in the pollen sac and after pollination. So first we will see the development of male gametophyte before pollination in the pollen sac. Now these are the 2 points, that is development before pollination and development after pollination. Each main point carries 1.5 mark. So the development before pollination in pollen sac carries 1.5 mark. Now you know that the pollen grains are produced inside the anther, and the pollen grain or microspore marks the development of male gametophyte. So it is the first cell of male gametophyte. It is given in the first point. Then second point is that this pollen grain will undergo mitosis. Here we can see to produce a large cell. It is called as vegetative cell and a small thin wall generative cell. This is the second point. Then the third point is that the vegetative cell is rich in food and having irregular shaped nucleus. Then the next point is that the generative cell, this is the generative cell, and this generative cell floats in the cytoplasm of the vegetative cell. So the next point is the second mitotic division is concerned with generative cells only and give rise to two non-motile male gametes. So this generative cell will undergo mitosis and it will produce two non-motile male gametes. And this process will occur either in the pollen grain or it may occur inside this pollen tube. So here we can see it may occur in the pollen grain. That means division of generative cell into two non-motile male gametes which are haploid. It may occur in the pollen grain or it may occur inside this pollen tube. So the pollen grains are released or they are shed from the anther at this two cell stage in most angiosperm. That means at this two celled stage, that is vegetative cell and generative cell. So at this two cell stage, the pollen grains are released from the anther and they are deposited on the surface of the stigma where the further development of this pollen grain occurs. Then the second step of the development of male gametophyte is after pollination and it occurs on the surface of the stigma. So for this second step, 1.5 mark is given. Now the first point is that after pollination, the two-celled stage pollen grain get deposited on the stigma. So generally at two-celled stage, the pollen grains are transferred from anther to the stigma of the flower and this process is called as pollination. So when pollen grains are deposited on the stigma, the pollen grains absorb the sugary substance secreted by the stigma for their development. Then second point is due to this, the volume of cytoplasm increases, thus creating pressure on the intine. So at this two cell stage, the pollen grain is deposited on the surface of the stigma. Then it absorbs sugary substance and due to this, the volume of the cytoplasm increases and it creates a pressure on the intine. Then the next point is that the intine comes out in the form of tube-like structure. It is called as pollen tube and this pollen tube comes out through the germ pore from this germ pore. Here we can see these are the germ pores. So this pollen tube comes out through the germ pore. Then the next point is that the tube nucleus. Here we can see the tube nucleus. Then cytoplasm and generative cell migrate into the pollen tube. Then next point is the pollen tube further after development. It grows through the style and reaches to the ovule inside the ovary. Then the next point is that the generative cell of the pollen grain. Here we can see that the generative cell of this pollen grain divide by mitosis to form non-motile haploid male gametes. Here we can see these are the non-motile haploid male gametes. So the pollen tube, that is the last point, is this: the pollen tube consists of two non-motile male gametes. Then the degenerating nucleus. Now this vegetative cell is also called as tube cell. So the degenerating sterile, here we can see the degenerating sterile nucleus represents the male gametophyte. Then the next question is, explain water pollination in detail with its types. Now you know that the pollination carried with the help of water is called as hydrophily. Hydros means water. Now hydrophily is of two types. That is, first one is hypohydrophily and the second one is epihydrophily. So the mark distribution is that the definition carries one mark and each type carries one mark. Now the first type of hydrophily is hypohydrophily. The name itself indicates. Hypo means the pollination occurs below the surface of water. It is the first point. Then the pollen grains are heavier than water. Hence, as the pollen grains are heavier than water, they sink down and they are caught by the stigmas of female flowers present inside the water. Now, the example is Zostera plant. It is also called as seagrass. Then the pollen grains in Zostera or seagrass are long. Then they are ribbon-like and they show absence of exine. Then second type is epihydrophily. Now epi means above. Pollination which occurs on the surface of water is called as epihydrophily. Now in epihydrophily flowers, the pollen grains float on the surface of water and then they reach to the stigma of the female flower. So example, Vallisneria is a submerged. Submerged means it is present below the surface of water and it is dioecious. Then it is freshwater aquatic plant. So in this plant, the female flowers reach the water surface temporarily to carry out or to ensure pollination, and male flowers float on the surface of water and come in contact with these female flowers. So the specific gravity of these pollen grains is same or equal to that of water, due to which these pollen grains float on the surface of the water. So due to water currents, the pollen grains are carried to the stigma and the process of pollination occurs. Then the next question is, give an account of any two biotic agents for pollination along with their adaptations. Now you know that biotic agents are those, that is, living organisms which carry pollination, and there are three biotic agents, that is insect, bird and bats. Now you know that insect pollination is called as entomophily, then bird pollination is called as ornithophily, and bat pollination is called as chiropterophily. So you can write any two biotic agents and the adaptations of the flowers. Angiosperms use biotic agents for feeding the visitors and exploiting their mobility for pollination and also for seed dispersal. So angiosperms use different kinds of living organisms by providing them with different food materials like edible pollen grain, then edible plant parts or parts of the flower, as well as they produce nectar. So due to this, the plants are helped in the process of pollination. Now, biotic agents include birds, bats, insects, snails. Now, birds like small birds like sunbirds, then hummingbirds carry ornithophilia or bird pollination. Now, examples of the plants are bombax, then callistemon. It is also called as bottle brush, butia, etc. Now, ornithophilous flowers or plants show following adaptations. Now, you know that flowers are usually bright colored, then they are large and showy or they are attractive. Then the flowers secrete profuse or large amount of dilute nectar. In our previous session, we have discussed regarding ornithophilia. Then pollen grains are sticky and spiny so that they get easily attached to the parts of the birds. Then flowers are without fragrance as birds have poor sense of smells. So from these adaptations, you will have to write any three adaptations. So each adaptation carries half mark and 1.5 mark is for any one biotic agent. Now second type, that is chiropterophilia. Now chiropterophilia means the pollination carried by bats. The adaptations in chiropterophilous flowers are the flowers are not attractive or they are dull colored and they are having strong fragrance or scent. Then they secrete or produce large amount of nectar. Then flowers produce large number of edible pollen grains on which the bats feed. Then chiropterophilia is observed in plants like Anthocypelus or it is called as kadam tree. Then Adansonia, it is called as baobab tree. Then Kygelia, it is called as sausage tree. So from each biotic type or biotic agents, you will have to write any three floral adaptations. So here we have seen the answer of this question. Now the next question is, explain any two contrivances or outbreeding devices for pollination. Now genetic diversity is an essential factor for the evolution by natural selection. Continued cell pollination results in inbreeding depression. That means due to continuous cell pollination, improved characters are not developed. So plants have developed many devices to encourage cross pollination. Now plants have developed different devices or mechanisms in the flowers to carry cross pollination, and these mechanisms are called as contrivances or outbreeding devices. Now the examples of outbreeding devices are as follows. So you will have to write any two contrivances in the answer, and each contrivance has 1.5 mark. Now, the first contrivance is unisexuality. Now, in this, the plant bears either male or female flowers, and this condition is called as dioecium. Now, you know that male plants bear or developed male flowers while female plant develop female flowers, and such flowers are called as unisexual flowers. So as flowers are unisexual, self pollination is not possible. Plants may be monoecious, that means when male and female flowers are present on the same plant, such condition is called as monoecious condition. Now, example of it is maize. An example of dioecious condition is mulberry and papaya. So, dioecious condition means male and female flowers present on separate plant, and monoecious means male and female flowers are present on the same plant. Then second contrivance of pollination is dichogamy. Dicho means two, gamy means condition. So in this, anthers and stigmas mature at different times in a bisexual flower, due to which self-pollination is avoided or prevented. And it is of two types. First one is protandry. Now, protandry means in this condition, anthers mature before the stigma of the flower, and the stigma is not receptive at that time. Now, example of it is disc florets of sunflower. Then second one is protogyny. Protos means first, gyne means female reproductive part. In this type, the stigma of the carpel matures earlier than the anthers of the same flower. Such condition is called as protogyny. An example of it is gloriosa. Then the third contrivance is called as prepotency. Prepotency means in this, pollen grains of other flowers germinate rapidly over the stigma of the flower than the pollen grains from the same flower. An example of it is apple. So in prepotency, the pollen grains of the same flower do not germinate, while the pollen grains from other flower germinate on the stigma. This condition is called as prepotency. Now we will see the next question, that is, describe the process of fertilization in angiosperms with the help of a diagram. Now in this question, 2 marks are given for the description of fertilization and 1 mark is for the diagram. Now the fusion of one male gamete with female gamete, or it is called as an egg, and fusion of another male gamete with diploid secondary nucleus is called as double fertilization, and it is the characteristic feature of angiosperm. The process of double fertilization was first discovered by the scientist called as Nauschin in plants like Lilium and Fritillaria. Now, you know that by the process of pollination, the pollen grain reaches the surface of stigma, and on this surface of the stigma, the pollen grain is deposited, and it absorbs sugary substance from the stigma, and the pollen tube germinates. The next point, that the pollen tube passes through the style, then it passes into the ovary and finally enters inside the ovule. Now generally the pollen tube enters inside the ovule through the micropyle. Then the next point, the growth of pollen tube is guided by the chemicals secreted inside the synergids. Now generally the pollen tube enters inside the ovule through the micropyle, and this term or the phenomenon is called as orogamy. But sometimes it may enter through the chaliza, then it is called as chalezogamy. Then sometimes it enters through the integuments, and it is called as mesogamy. So this pollen tube penetrates the embryo sac of the ovule through the micropylar end. That means pollen tube enters the embryo sac through this micropylar end. Then the pollen tube carrying male gamete penetrates in one of the synergids. That means the pollen tube enters one of the synergids. Then the watery contents of the synergids are absorbed by the pollen tube, due to which it breaks or ruptures and releases its content, including the two non-motile male gametes. So, the pollen tube tip absorbs watery content from the synergid and it breaks and releases male gametes inside the embryo sac. Now, you know that male gametes are non-motile and are carried through the pollen tube, which is hollow. Hence, the phenomenon is called as syphnogamy. The process of fertilization involves two steps. The first one is syngamy and the second one is triple fusion. Now here we can see that the first male gamete fuses with haploid female gamete, or it is called as egg, and this process is called as syngamy, or it is called as first fertilization. So syngamy is a type of generative fertilization. Similarly, the product of syngamy or first fertilization is the formation of diploid zygote, which later on develops into an embryo. Now the second process is called as triple fusion. Now at the center, a diploid cell called as secondary nucleus is present. So the second haploid male gamete fuses with diploid secondary nucleus to form a cell called as triploid primary endosperm nucleus, and this phenomenon is called as triple fusion, or it is called as second fertilization. And triple fusion is a type of vegetative fertilization. So in this way, the two non-motile male gametes fuse at two different places. That is, one fuses with egg or female gamete, second fuses with secondary nucleus. Hence, the process of fertilization is described or called as double fertilization. So, while writing the answer, you will have to write the description, and it is for 2 marks and 1 mark is for correct labeled diagram.